Hi tomato lovers! Today we will be reviewing the new varieties brought together in one tomato series. It's exciting and unique, and I'm sure each of you will find a variety to suit your taste. This collection is called The Cure, after the famous British rock band, and it was created by Bill Yoder of Georgia, USA. The tomato I'm about to show you is called Fascination Street, and it really did nothing but fascinate me in every sense of the word. And you'll see for yourselves, because as the song of the same name says, oh, it's opening time down on Fascination Street, so let's cut the conversation and get out for a bit. It seems like it's time to tell you about one of the greatest hits of the season. Incredibly beautiful, high-yielding, and delicious. All of this describes Fascination Street perfectly. You know, there are some varieties that literally made this season, and now we're talking about one of them. To give you a general idea, the summer was so cool that I didn't manage to harvest a single ripe fruit from some varieties. At the same time, Fascination Street seemed to exist for the sole purpose of more than compensating for this. It has a set of qualities that make it worth growing every year. Well, let's get to know it better. I grew the plants in 2 stems, and by midsummer they were all noticeably taller than 7 feet or 2 meters. The tomatoes are large, flat round in shape, and incredibly beautiful. The clusters were heavy, but they held up well, and I didn't tie them up. It's not only a striped tricolor, but also decorated with anthocyanin, which gives the ripe fruits a special charm. The tomatoes are so pretty that at one point even a spider decided to set up its ambush closer to them to enjoy the view. But seriously, in addition to its beauty, Fascination Street also showed excellent yield. It was practically disease-free, set fruit well, was one of the first to bear fruit, and overall left a very good impression on me. There were so many tomatoes that I could even afford to give some away to my neighbors. Almost all of the fruits weighed more than 10 ounces or 300 grams, and the largest one in my case reached 1 pound and 2 ounces or 523 grams. Another pleasant surprise awaited me inside. The flesh was a gorgeous color, very bright, yellow-green with pink lines. The taste is sweet with spicy notes, a delicate tartness, and a long fruity aftertaste. The tomatoes are very juicy and fragrant. Fascination Street is a tomato that makes you fall in love with it, that does not disappoint, but on the contrary, is able to delight and give you the most pleasant emotions and impressions. Bill has managed to create a truly amazing tricolor that can adorn any collection. And I want to sincerely thank Fascination Street for the moments of joy and for this fascinating tomato adventure. The next variety in the Cure series is called Charlotte Sometimes. It is a cherry tomato with pear-shaped fruits of a dark purple-pink color with anthocyanin. This year I grew several new varieties of similar shape by Bill from different tomato lines, but the color of this tomato was perhaps one of the most striking. The plants themselves also caught my eye. Their foliage is very interesting in shape and not too dense. When grown with 3 stems, they reached a height of about 5 feet or 1.5 meters by July. The tomatoes are gathered in small clusters, but there are quite a lot of these clusters, so the variety ultimately showed a decent yield. The weight was typical for cherry tomatoes at just under 1 ounce or over 20 grams. The flesh is dark pink with yellow gel in the seed cavities, and the tomatoes are quite dense. As for the taste, I especially liked the berry sweetness. There is also a slight acidity, and I did not notice any anthocyanin aftertaste. So sometimes Charlotte is delicious, probably most of the time, and maybe even always. There are some nuances in this flavor that make it unique in a good way. I think that in the best summer, this variety will grow well outdoors. Overall, it's an intriguing cherry tomato that is definitely worth trying. The same goes for the next tomato in this collection called In Between Days. It is a beautiful beefsteak variety with anthocyanin. When fully ripe, the color of the fruit changes from from bright yellow to amber orange. They look delicious, and I personally liked them. This indeterminate variety did not grow too tall in my garden, which is quite understandable given the summer we had, and by the end of the season, the plants were about 5 feet 7 inches or 1.7 meters tall. The fruits are flat round in shape, slightly ribbed, and gathered in clusters of about 3-4 tomatoes each. Yes, the variety was not super productive, but it was still quite good. The tomatoes weighed around 5 and 7 ounces, or 150 and 200 grams, and this result remained stable throughout the season. When cut open, I was greeted by a beautiful pink-orange marmalade-like flesh with a large amount of juice. The tomatoes are sweet, with a rich, fruity tomato aroma and no noticeable tartness. Literally an explosion of tomato sweetness, as if something created specifically for salads. I think that for all lovers of sweet tomatoes, In Between Days is a very good option, and for lovers of exotic flavors, it's doubly good. Beauty, excellent taste, it has it all. Now get ready for a lullaby. But don't you dare fall asleep. This time, instead of singing you a song, I'll show you another tomato from the Cure collection called Lullaby. The fruits of this variety are medium-sized, dark cherry-colored with anthocyanin stripes. Another tomato with an exotic appearance. As with the Fascination Street, Lullaby plants have strong growth vigor. Already in the middle of the season, when growing 2 stems, I limited them to a height of 7 feet or 2 meters. The fruits are quite large, and in my opinion, the yield was good. To be honest, I couldn't remember a second tomato that looked the same as the Lullaby variety, so I had no idea what to expect from the tasting. The average weight of the tomatoes was about 7 ounces or 200 grams, and the largest of them weighed 13.5 ounces or 384 grams. When fully ripe, the flesh becomes a rich dark pink color. Lullaby has a pleasant aroma and a predominantly sweet taste with a slight acidity. Overall, I can say that I liked the entire The Cure tomato line. Bill did a really great job of breeding and stabilizing these varieties, and now you have the chance to grow them and appreciate them for what they are worth. The same goes for varieties from other collections, which I'll definitely tell you about in future releases. That concludes my review of the new tomatoes from Bill Yoder's The Cure collection. But that's not all for today. Recently I started breeding new tomato varieties myself, and I already have some breeding results. Let's start with one of my favorite lines, which came from crossing Dwarf Jeremy's stripes and Spencer tomatoes. This year they grew as F2 generation plants and showed excellent results. One of the most appealing lines was noted for its strong and tall plants, which are well adapted to outdoor conditions. The tomatoes are dense, gathered in abundant clusters, and not prone to cracking. Red in color with orange stripes. I picked them in whole bunches and can say that they are slightly larger than cocktail tomatoes, approximately up to 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. I am particularly pleased that I managed to obtain a line with a bright tomato flavor. What's more, it has not only sweetness but also some tartness, just the way I like it. The tomatoes will 100% be added to my lineup, and I will definitely work on stabilizing them. This breeding line does not have a name yet, so feel free to suggest your own options in the comments. In my home country of Belarus, there used to be a delicious cocktail variety, a hybrid called Sapsan F1, but unfortunately its seeds production was shut down and there is no publicly available information about its parental varieties. Therefore, I decided to remedy the situation and develop my own Belarusian tomato, which will be at least as good in terms of taste and yield, and something tells me that I'm on the right track. If you are interested in what other hybrids I have obtained, and there were many of them, then don't miss the next episodes, where I will talk not only about new varieties, but also about my own discoveries. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and of course, love tomatoes, grow tomatoes. This is the Lucky Garden channel, and see you soon.